I'm gonna leave for a little bit, just long enough to miss me, long enough so I can get it rough. Wanna feel the earth beneath my feet, make you wonder if I'm coming back. Break a couple bones, break a couple packs, take position in where I can't relax. Stress test, build pressure, push it back. No notoriety, just pack a bag. See something new instead of what I had. I found solace, a sign and a task. Disoriented, think I'm out of control, so the story with it flickers when it gets told. Like a subtlety format, just feeling it all. Approach event horizon, I've died several times, so I'll bear it all. Pacing in circles, the birth of a story that only I've told. Wait, hold up. Pacing in circles, the birth of a story that only I've told. Cause the soul is unique, always wonder when if we could touch one another on another level. Wait, hold up. Pacing in circles, the birth of a story that never was to. Wait, hold up. Pacing in circles, the birth of a story that only I've told. Cause the soul is unique, always wondered when if we could touch one another on another level. I said it repetitive, stuttered and tumbled, but still you deciphered the plea of my cries. Could I ever see out of your eyes, desperately wanting you living in mine? I take back what I said cause I hate that. My reaction equivalent in my past, set the precedent, setting my setbacks. Habits embedded and bite back, I don't like that. A pathetic attempt in my head, it's a cycle that couldn't be fixed. What I thought, what I said, it's a relevant mess. But instead take development, dreading some death and some medicine with good direction. But otherwise settled for less than I wanted, more than I asked for. It's into control, all that I wanted. And now that I have it, I feel it's a curse to be able to feel and react how I want. Could never be blunt on myself or the ones that decided to stay. I was begging for space, now I have it and suffocate.
Yeah. Caught with a gun, aimed at my flaws and I came seen to run. Put my fate down and I flew to the sun, but the wax escaped my possession, I'm done. What's composition when I'm living by ideals? I don't want a spotlight stemming from tears. Imbalancing chemicals I make up with the fear. I face off for God if it means I can steer the way of this life, the way of my life, the way I get everything double the price. So I work double as hard and I tumble down far cause I'm limited by my own mind. There's no question that I'm judging God for his creation. That's a divine fucking joke against my salvation.
It's funny how every sorry feels a little hollow. Funny how every party we can put aside being shallow. Funny how every compromise is a battle. But let's break it down a bit, it'll take a minute. But I feel a sense of responsibility to recognize how deep we're in it. Grow up, set precedent, break it. New normal, settle and take it. Autonomy hits, try to shake it. Say without me, never would've made it. But it's not about it, not benevolence. About picking up the pieces, try to fix. But what it was before you can't get again. Life a one-way street of consequence. And that's obvious, I learned it from experience. I had a lot of those, a lot of first times, a lot of first hands. A lot of shaping me to who I am, a lot of wondering if this is it, who I'll be and never shift again. Cause a bias hits when you're in the present, no forward thinking when you think depressive. So when I left it, push the edges of the shell I'm in. You stood outside with your compromise, ready shouting, let me in. If patience is a virtue, I'd be hard pressed to call you virtuous. Cause a shouting turned to pounding and the shell was broken open. Tried to make it close again, but the egg was already broken. Okay, the egg is already broken. The egg is already broken. Okay, the egg is already broken. Okay, the egg is already broken. The egg is already broken. Okay, the egg is already broken. Oh, fuck. Broken. Okay, the egg is already broken. Okay, okay. How many times I falsified my thoughts to fit descriptions I held on to from the times I was taught. And it's a dog-eat-dog world out there, and I better not let it get to me. I had to be strong and no fault of my own. I'm not in a position to relax, not a minute passes by that I'm not on edge and insistent that it's coming. Don't know what, but it is. I waited patiently to be alone, would be worth it to beat it. Now I'm out of it and free, have no idea where I'm headed. In a way a bit ironic, fought so hard for independence. Now I'm clawing for some ignorance to hide behind my habit to rise in terms of weakness as I circle back around to where I was in colder seasons. I wish you felt it too, no, selfish, but I needed confirmation of the truth. Cause without outside opinion, nothing valid falling through. But I know I'll never get it the way I want it, and it kills me. The egg is still broken.
The egg is still broken. The egg is still broken. Yeah. And when it hatched, I gasped to fill up my lungs with Chesapeake toxic air. A harsh welcome and departure from cosmic memories that got me here. Cold and alone, except my mother holding me closely through a postpartum embarkment and unwashed hospital upholstery. Underdressed for the social event that they sold to me, I'm sure she meant no harm. And here I am in her role to see just what she was facing. I thank her for the strength that she showed to me, cause at times I couldn't shoulder it. My hold-ups had a hold of me. I hold a piece of our family legacy in my soul, that every day I get older I feel parts of it slip away. Holding on to older folks, sobering overtones of throwing dreams over my shoulder. I'll hearken a many day, I guess, probably sooner than later. With the way we gotta pay up in every possible aspect, how could I possibly blame the people that finally gave up? I know that feeling all too well, and knowing I pass that darkness to my son is my own walk through hell. Sometimes I wish I could just start over from my first cries, but the egg is still broken and I can't go back if I try. The egg is still broken and I can't go back if I try. The egg is still broken.
I've gone back and forth regarding personal philosophy. Thought I had it covered a couple times, but some anomaly of thought prevents finality. Used to bother me, but if this is unending until death, how could it stop for me? Cause was living without consequence, was dying some anonymous, was vying for acceptance from the place you least expect it, was camping by the river, and what's breakfast but for dinner, and was smoking out of bottles in the bathroom out the window, and was sex under the sheets, and was scheduling a meeting with advisors for a major, dropping out a couple weeks later. What's happening to me? What society needs to survive is a sacrifice, suffering first-hand experience, seen through the eyes of a child, repeated to keep it alive. It's a cycle I think I inherited. I wear it just as my father did, not with pride, but with guilt, shame, and embarrassment. Blue skies witnessed by all parties. I wonder if we saw the same hue. Blood red sunset hit my irises for the first time in such a way that I saw it to be true. We both existed in some awkward kind of way. An esoteric state of mind relies on insular decision, so how could I ever see the sky and know that it's the same as the one reaching your eyes? At times I beg for ignorance, repenting my decision to subscribe to solipsism. Now I'm sensitive to any new dynamic. Lost upon me is the knowledge of acceptance of condition, that I live in terms of relative comparison to you or any system not experienced by me. I boasted empathy. To only know yourself and make that claim is contradictory. So all I know is what I know, and there's a first time for everything. Time is sectioned and kept and checked by benchmarks, new standards, met goals and regrets. It isn't a set method, obsession with best message will kill the collective, left solo in debt. So I prepped to start fighting the war. Took a few hits, thought that I was ready for more. Every instance saw his novel, took the label in store to be sure I recognize what I'm working for. And I'll tell you something, share a bit of info about my life, so pay attention to me, I don't wanna say it twice. Had a buddy older than me by a year or so, and I ran with him, he paced around the same 3-mile time. Middle school to high school, I was lacing up our spikes. Jokes were on a run cause we were boys living our lives. Never opened up a lot but knew we had each other's backs. One day he had told me action that he couldn't just take back. First time that he said out loud a problem that he had. Both alarmed, but from that moment knew a closer bond we had. Navigating adolescence, running on the track, smoking in the parking lot with feet up on the dash. Made me feel I was accepted by a crowd I never had. Over time I could reject what I had held to in the past. He showed me something new, a way to retract, close out what was happening and learn to look past. Stood together, wore each other's jerseys, fighting till the end. 7 months after the race he put a bullet in his head. Woke up the next morning, saw a call was from my ex. Said I'm sorry, know you cared about him, can't believe he's dead. Wanted solitary, laid in bed, I didn't call her back. First time in my life I think that I confronted death. Could I be in that position, can I see beyond the mess? Now I've remembered him way longer than I knew him as a friend. Stop the talking, I'm dropping it, ducking as I go under it. Stumbling over words, I'm sure that it was better than it was, but I'm still stubborn to sunder. A punch in the gut and a number of other methods can't wake me up from dreaming for months. Ever since it hit my nervous system, neurons fucking split. Send a message to my brain, I'll never be the same again. Cause that's experience, a new encounter, rupture. What connection? I still had the times before it collapsed. Over time I was defined by irreversible forces of the world I know are neutral, but I worked to counter anyways. Stayed up late to fight the way I felt and pray that someone understood how I was hurting. But the egg was broken. The egg was already broken.
Is no place for discontent.
Need a 5-minute break, just need to put on the brakes. Need to stop raising the stakes, so stay the same and just wait. I said I'm fine where I'm at, so there's no need to react. Like I put pressure on myself for others to change, keep the facts. And no, you don't need to ask if you should be where I'm at. So keep your distance if you gotta close a promise at last. No, my opinion turned fact, just cause they cited a gap. As anecdotal and ancestral set the way and said let's leave it at that. What could happen, smack in the back of a pack of cowboy killers. Wrapping packages, passing them back and forth in a assortment of food, including the turkey and sauerkraut, mashed potatoes, another family dinner. But the second one, tectonic splitting worlds apart and tried to keep it fun. Another cycle kept alive, you only need the one participant to rope them in. A couple children, found myself the middle one. Conditions spawn, divide and conquer, got the depressive one. See or speak or hear no evils, I was all of them. That's the complex, not nonsense like I felt it was. But what did I know, that's just how it was. Just need a 5-minute break, just need to put on the brakes. Need to stop raising the stakes, so stay the same and just wait. I said I'm fine where I'm at, so there's no need to react. Like I put pressure on myself for others to change, keep the facts. And no, you don't need to ask if you should be where I'm at. So keep your distance if you gotta close a promise at last. No, my opinion turned fact, just cause they cited a gap. As anecdotal and ancestral set the way and said let's leave it.
Like so many people these days, we live in the suburbs.
Sliding down the banister, Mom will grip the handle of a pan to sizzle pancakes and bacon. Breakfast is for dinner. Sliding on the Reeboks with the zigzag sole, the 2010 ones. Recently been getting cold, and recently I find I'm eating more fast food than once before. It's easier when you got other obligations to uphold. The stress and pressure is a mountain to a different kind of scold, one that hides away the real reason that we at each other's throats. Cause it's not personal, at least between us, never was alone. We just never had to deal with this, a shift within the home. I was in P Ridge, first time I hit the bowl. At the time I never thought of it as a way that I could cope, but now I know to some extent that lift gave me a bit of hope. Cause otherwise within the silence shit it felt we were in limbo. When suspension dust has settled, but we kicked it up in patterns. Patch it up, try to relax and check the clock and go back at it. That was the routine for a bit. Picture this, 3 kids, 3 different prescriptions, 3 schools in 3 different districts, 1 home and 2 of them missing. That's a lot to put on your back. Help pack them up cause you made a pact to help them get there, and now you want them back. Can't relax, I'm too aware of how you feel, I feel it too. I feel the years, but less I see the vision, less Caravaggio, more impression. Blending memories as I said them, don't know what I expected. I should've kept it to myself. How baking cookies was a little help. How something mundane took the day and it took the rain and it made it well. How something said about something love could help me see what I can't myself. Cause if you tried to make an effort, keep us up, I could as well. I just thought you couldn't see. Now I know no way in hell, no way in hell. Change, you don't know you're living through it. Slip through the cracks and you see the hinge. Church twice a week, no I haven't been in any sort of way that meant something. In a couple years, even when I went, felt a split in my decision. For a while I've been indifferent, what I was raised in. I play charades in a stupid vain way to preserve some sense of shape of how we were. Now there we sit, four silhouettes without a grip. I strain my eyes, I compromise. Pastor speaks and I don't listen. I wish I did, I really tried. But over time my comprehension fell out of line with what it was, and now it's not. It won't again be what you want. And I never think I really did tell you how I felt about it, and you never did the same. You don't think about it when it happens, but when was the last day? Last day we went, last night I slept within that bed. I called my own before I left. Last time you drove me when I couldn't. Last time that you picked the movie. Last time we came home Sunday morning with a story. Last time that I made the food. Last time that we shared a roof.
He did it again, caused trouble, hurt someone's feelings. Yet he didn't want to do it. Yes, troublesome people are often people in trouble.
Been a minute since we talked, beyond niceties, dinner and what we've been watching. Surface level conversation once mandated, though I wanted to, I never could hate it. Pop a record in the player cause you had one there. Pop shots 30-06, hole in the paper. I don't talk shit often but I could up the stairs. Shot cobbler run me up, we'll get the lock and compare so I could analyze the situation. Can't imagine how much pain you've been in. Maybe all of us are victims of a cycle. I was in it long enough to mold and shape some sort of battle test to form. Went through hell but look how I perform. And honestly, if this analogous to other broken promises, I might have gotten off a little easy. But it's easy to see how it affected us. I pegged you as the villain, now I realize you were in it just as much as us. That's not to say that it's a justification. Can't hold on to it forever, it can always be anger. But say I'm okay in the end, you made it through as well. That can be a bit confusing, I don't know how I felt when I came to that conclusion. Where we stood could be elusive, cause an hour once or twice a week can be enough to judge a mood. But I'm past trying to get through to you, and that way I did it once and look where it led us to. I wrote the track when I was angry, tried to expose you in 8 straight minutes of hate. And when I think about you listening to it, I lose the plot and I realize that I don't feel the same. And now we don't make eye contact when we talk.
We pray to thee, our God, this day for the blessings you provide. But from ashes to ashes, and from dust to dust, so it must be.
I'll be okay, I'll be alright.
do remember simply this. Treat the other members of your family with the same respect and cordiality you would show your most treasured friend outside the family circle. Be yourself. Just be sure it's your best self.
I have this dream that I'm a big-time jazz piano player, packed club every night, and cocky talent justifies the behavior. My fingers roll gracefully over ivory keys, made to play arrangements made specifically for me. And every note's retaliation to the critics bent on living what I've got but couldn't get it, flicking ash from cigarettes to marble trays at every minute. I'm sensational and vivid yet noir when I toss innocence, play scales of lost remembrance. Nothing exists outside this bar, my world consists of gin and sins, hint of sepia to bleed into the black and white existence that I live, monotone and simple as a sunset never happens, a perpetual late evening on the town that never ends. They ask, why don't you leave this town? The big city calls your name as my fingers improvise a minor key as if to say I've tried and couldn't do it. I thrive in the moodiness of ruin and these smoky late night clubs where these strangers share emotions and I wake up. Color rushes to my vision. Spinning images of notes rise up in smoke and evanesces. Rub my eyes and recognize the home in which I live and the body my brain is in. What a beautiful thing it is to feel. What a strange occurrence to be real. Place my feet upon the floor to flourish, thoughts to toss the torsion and the rot my mind endures, cause it's the sort of broken train of thought my trauma would endorse. Lost the plot, no I am forced, unspoken sets of rules deciding what my body wants. That's tough, you can't always get what you want. How peaceful nothing seems to be. I can't control that jealousy. I live in static and react how I think people would if me. That's pre-rehearsal, that's weak. Calming the static and you know that's unheard of. The talk and the habits and the shame and the burden, screaming at night and silence that follows, and hiding behind headaches, chest pain, it's all so hollow.
Yeah, I drew a lot growing up. Like I just did pencil and not a lot of like color. And then when I was in 8th grade, I started learning piano self-taught.
I'm 7, playing my grandmother's piano, discordance. I'm 12, playing piano in the school band room. I'm 17, playing my own piano, self-taught. I'm 18, I move out. I leave my piano at home. I'm 22, I visit home and play the songs I learned when I was 17. I've learned nothing new since then. I don't know if I know how anymore, only what I did. But even those songs are fading from memory. D minor 7 to F was an A. Notes blend in a murky haze as my fingers awkwardly sprawl along unfamiliar keys I once called home. I don't know them anymore, and they don't know me. I'm 7, playing my grandmother's piano, discordance.
I wondered back through time and the time that I've lost. Said regression tends to happen when you're weighing the cost of trauma. Not an option to purvey a quick fix, so either take this help or leave it. Ship is sinking by the minute, so I crawled through adolescence, walked onto a college campus, ran away from chance, solidified my future by declining any hands to reach the touch, the palm of mine. Warm embrace of some assistance given not by selfish needs, but by a genuine insistence that I'm not alone in this. It's something understood by others. Common sense would scream at me, claw at my ears, reverberate my skull. All too often was preoccupied by projection of my fault. Should've carried, chose to bury, would take it all back if I could. Aimlessly I wandered streets as passive as a specter could. As raging conflict left my life, nothing good replaced it. I'm a survivor, I'm a victim that can't understand he made it. I feel guilt that I outlived myself. How could I know the series of events would shift enough to bend how I carried myself? That's not something you come back from. That's not something you relax through. That's not something you attach on. That's something that latches onto you. I screamed and yelled, this isn't fair. Tell me when I fucking asked for this. Empty room, a podium to speak to no one listening. Pretend that they could hear me, act like I'm above it. Years I thought that self-awareness was enough to struggle past it. Tears I fought when tells and answers showed me that it's worse than ignorance. If I know the problem and still won't ever solve it, what could ever stop it? Switch the topic, not right now, but later. Promise options in abundance. Shut up, fuck you, listen, tell me what to do. Don't wanna hear it. Can't you tell I'm uncomfortable? But be there if I need you. Not right now, but maybe later. You're offended, I'm offended. Please don't cry, I can do better. Say it's concern, no it's concern. Think it's not, but rather sinister. And since you seem to think it's not, the surface tension blisters. Think it's control, it's not control, but it is, you just don't know it hurts. Assuming it got worse, I mean it did, but how is that something you've earned? Brute force and explanation shifts course in my direction. Once a month like it's a quota had its limit. Simply empathetic, said that's it, but I don't think you get it. How could anything you've done so far possibly lead to this? Cause you don't get it, and I wish I did. I'm as empty gets. I left myself behind what could survive against it did. And now I grieve someone I was that I can never get again. Call it naivety or people-pleasing tendencies. Whatever helps me sleep, I switch opinion, just depending on the frequency. Cause I'm spineless, folding quick. I got no pride left to give, cause I'd give anything to tell that kid to play the piano again. And if you're still listening out there, I'm here. I know it's been a while since we talked, at least like this, man, what a year it's been. It's almost hard to look at you, and I don't mean that to offend. It's just considering experience, I needed time to mend, and I'm sure you understand, because you said you would. So I'm sure you do. I really considered stopping a few times, popping the top off some wine type shit and rocking it till I can't talk type shit and pretending to settle down 2 kids in a timeshare type shit, releasing a grip on this mortal coil cause I'm sort of forward from increasing any sort of purpose further than the little that I managed till I retire 3 years after projected age cause I can't quite keep the 401k type shit and throwing a caps at sky type shit, graduating from life type shit, you know? And I know that's not fair, but like, what is? You know? And I know what you'll say, there's no way that it was ever really that bad. I think that's something that you'd say. And I know that for a while all I really did was hide behind some words I had to look a couple meanings for online. And every time I came to visit, play the out-of-tune piano. In my head I know you recognize the song from 7 years ago. I play it just the same I did when entering the 10th grade. Muscle memory's all it is. And I think that something stopped when I pushed myself away, all on my own, surrounded by 4 walls, insisted they were mine to pay. That's just hubris, okay? okay? But ashamed to see the day whatever happens is okay, cause now we work through it. The hurt, the shit we sorta curbed a couple years, so I'll double and revert to this pointed finger shouting, spitting in my head but never in it. 17 so apathetic in my head but really anxious. Cause I cared, I really cared. Never once I really said it. Now I'm older, less a cynic, more forgiving, and he's dead. Felt the procession march along and it shook the earth just for a minute. Watched it happen, but it didn't seem imperative to bury him, and now I can't revisit. I think part of me regrets it. Packing up, said I'm relaxed, and I believed it. Back to back, I ask these questions every time. Hit the wall, is this my prime? At 23, I see the signs. Am I really in decline? For once I saw security and safety, something to call mine. Still at night I found uncertainty in my ability to cry. Is it defect or rejection of emotion? Either sleep or steep in regret of confection. Any notion I had fault in some due process of regression of the hope that they held on to selfishly. I kept it going and it's over now, but mentally I'm still right in the middle of it. Every time you call my stomach aches, I tend to redirect it, leave a message. I have this dream I'm a big time jazz piano player. Pack club every night and cocky talent justifies the behavior. My fingers roll gracefully over rivalry keys, made to play arrangements made specifically for me. And every note's retaliation to myself, my parents, friends, and anyone I ever loved. To my nicotine addiction, my prescriptions I blew off. To the classes that I skipped and any porn I've ever watched. To every time I turned the lights off and I begged for it to stop. To every stomach ache I've ever gotten, the blood that I've had drawn. To look for a solution, weigh the problem and the cost. To every I'm just tired, yeah I'm fine, it happens, hanging in there. Yeah that's fair, I get it, I got time. To every time I wondered what it was I'm allowed to stop. I'm sorry, no it's selfish, no I'm grateful for what I've got. To every song I ever learned before my parents' marriage rot, and especially the ones that I learned after, and it's not the fault of any person in particular. It took a couple years to learn how guilt isn't just insular, it's viral, a bit insecure, and vain to shoulder all the hurt. Grief forgotten versions of myself, like I'm the only one that heard the songs when they were played. From living room to kitchen, part of someone else's day. That part of me's alive inside the mind of the audience that heard me at the first note and will hear me at the last. So I hope that Ian found a bit of peace within those keys before he passed.
I'm seven playing my grandmother's piano, discordance.